Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, may I first welcome the distinguished Foreign Minister of Haiti to this Council of the Organization of American States this morning. May I also ask, through you, Chair, that a copy of his very important statement be made available in English. The reason I ask that is because he said a number of very important things this morning, but I rather suspect that some of his words were lost in translation, and therefore the full import of what he was saying was not communicated to all of us. It is too important a statement for us not to be fully aware of all that he has said. So I would ask that that statement be available in English so that we can study it carefully. I also want to offer him an apology that I was not present at the meeting with the CARICOM caucus this morning. There were very good reasons why I could not be present, but I'm delighted to be here, and I was happy to hear his presentation this morning. Madam Chair, I need not tell you that what happens with Haiti is of great importance to the Caribbean community, not only because Haiti is a member of our grouping, but because of the historical role that Haiti has played in relation to the freedom and independence and sovereignty of all our peoples. Haiti struck the first blow for all of us, but it was a decisive blow, and one that no Caribbean country can discount or forget. And therefore, our solidarity with Haiti springs from that very important and fundamental, those very important and fundamental rights that Haiti helped us and paved the way for each of us to achieve. Now, having said that, the situation in Haiti is, as many speakers have said this morning, extremely grave. And I must put on record my delegation's great sympathy for the position expressed by my colleague from the Dominican Republic this morning, both in his analysis of the situation and of the implications of it for his country and other countries that have, including the Bahamas, which have had to carry the brunt of irregular immigration and other activity in their countries. Clearly, at the root cause of all of this now is the gang violence, which clearly is out of control. Notwithstanding the valiant efforts of the police that the distinguished foreign ministers described this morning, the gangs are in control of Haiti. And as he rightly says, until that situation is brought under control, we cannot conceive of elections being held in any normal way. So the priority is getting the violence under control. Haiti alone cannot do that, though at the very root of what must first happen in Haiti is that there must be a consensus amongst all the parties. The bickering, the carping, the fighting for turf that has characterized the dialogue in Haiti between the parties in Haiti has to stop in their own interest. And Haiti cannot expect the international community, and I want to talk about the international community in a minute, but Haiti cannot expect the international community to respond to Haiti's needs without some assurance that within Haiti there will be a collective, solidified response, both in terms of the requests they make, the cooperation they will give, and the openness with which they will deal with the international community. That, I believe, is key to all of this. Now, who is the international community? We use that term loosely Everybody talks about it. Almost every speaker here this morning talked about the international community. What is that? The international community, by any definition, is all the players in the international community. Every country, every institution, not one or two or three, but all of them. So we must be careful when we ask the international community to do things or blame the international community for some things, because many people in the international community are perfectly innocent of what happens in Haiti or has happened there. There are other places in the international community, both countries and institutions, that have damaged Haiti irreparably over many years. I don't need to name those countries because you know who they are. Now, it is up to those countries, if they recognize the error of their ways in the past, to do something about correcting the situation in Haiti positively. Countries like those in CARICOM don't have the means to do it. We will give Haiti support. We will give Haiti the benefit of whatever expertise we have. But the financial support, the means to change what is happening there, comes back to the international community with the resources to do so. And many of them, incidentally, are the countries that are very much responsible for what is happening in Haiti today. Now, beyond that, I just say one word to the Foreign Minister of Haiti. Sir, I led a delegation of this organization to your country in 2016, at a time, again, of constitutional crisis. A transitional government was established. It led to the election, eventually, of Jovenel Moïse, with a great deal of hope for Haiti's future. But we see how that ended, in blood and assassination. In Haiti, once again, thrown into turmoil. This is a continuing cycle. And unless that cycle is broken, I'm afraid the future that you have asked us to join you in accomplishing will be very difficult. It means that all of us, including the people who govern in Haiti, the people who run institutions in Haiti, the private sector, everybody has to get together to put forward a solution about Haiti that you consider to be workable, but that could be credible to the international community. And when I say the international community now, I do mean the international community. Everybody, including the United Nations, this Organization of American States, the Inter-American Development Bank, the IMF, the World Bank, and those countries that run those institutions, to recognize that Haiti is a very special case caused by the action of others throughout its history to bring it to the place where it is now, and that is on its knees. So, I thank you very much for coming, sir, and I would very much like to see your remarks in full. I think you made a very important statement here today, one that will give us food for thought and cause for action. Thank you very much.